Based on what you were saying, like you were working, you said you are like an administrator or something like that at the moment. For me, I am a full-time student. I am not having any other part-time job. I have time for Edusa because I understand this position requires time. So, how are you going to convince Edusans that we are going to have you all the time we actually need you? Because based on what you say here, you are somebody that's actually busy, and that is evident during the campaign and things like that. But sometimes you are not on the ground and things like that. So I want to know whether you are actually going to give time to Edusans at the expense of your work. For me, I don't have any other work. I am a full-time student. Thank you.
Yeah, I think first of all we have to clear that portion. During the campaign I was missing because the moderator was saying there are issues outside that should not be discussed, and then I will respect that because my mom is sick and my mom is there to me, so I have to be there for her. So I want that portion to be cleared, and then for you to understand that communication deals with gadgets, and it doesn't mean that your face has to be appeared. You're dealing with technology, and then you also understand that you are not only alone in that committee. You'll be having assistants, and also you'll be having a team. But to clarify your answer, I'll be there for Edusans, and then with my committee, we'll able to make a positive change for Edusa.
Thank you. I think you are going to be the last person to answer.
Yes,
so it is going to be your final questions to Mr. Anelia.
Okay, so I understand that when you looked at success in our ministries, how are you going to measure your success to Edusans in line with your policy, and what metrics are you going to use to measure?
Thank you so much for answering the question that I asked as well, and also thank you for asking this question. Well, how am I going to measure? You understand that I have my policies, right? So at regular interval, together with my team, we are going to evaluate what went right and what went wrong. What are the things that we are able to achieve? What are the things that we are not able to achieve? Because we are going to work as a team. I think that would be an easy way to actually understand without any complex or whatsoever method or whatsoever. The simplest way is to work with my team. Whenever, like, we have a timeline for every activity. For every activity we plan, because we'll have the action plan, there will be a timeline for it, whatever we want to actually implement. And from that, we will know which activity we've conducted and which we have not, which policy we've conducted and the one that we have not conducted. And that is an easy way to actually measure the success that we. There is a policy I have, that is having communication guideline on our various WhatsApp platforms or social media platforms. So these communication guidelines, or you may call them conduct, or they're going to be code of conduct. They are going to be shared for everyone to see, and then we will make sure that we engage the students through my ministry. I'm going to do that together with my committee members. We engage the students and tell them the importance of maintaining these communication guidelines. I think that will really help us to have a smooth discussion. You know, we understand that people can have disagreement, they can discuss. That is important, that is good, that is normal. But then you have to be responsible in how you communicate. And through this communication guideline that we are going to develop, it is going to help us to maintain that. I understand this. You know, one thing I observed, when you look at section 16, subsection 5, A and B, it actually empowers the IPRO minister to admit or remove students from the various platforms. We know that. But then but there are conditions. That is, you must, as the IPRO, before you can add people, but before you remove any individual, there has to be in consultation with the executive council. That is what it is what is provided for in section 16, subsection 5, A and B. Unfortunately, of recent incident, we have seen other members being removed from the platform at will without consulting the executive council, and that is a violation of the Edusa constitution. So as the incoming IPRO, I understand my responsibility, and I know that I have the responsibility to follow and observe the provisions in our constitution. I will always go by the constitution. I will not be someone who will just randomly bastardize the constitution. Because if a leader fails to actually follow the established rules or communication, the established rules, that leader is going to be a threat to any institution, and I'm not going to be that leader.
Thank you, Honorable Ture. Now you'll be responsible if you are elected as the next IPRO 16 Executive Council. What specific rule or code of conduct will you implement to make sure our official forum are professionally and useful?
I think this question, the constitution of Edusa, given the IPRO that mandate, that power to be able to add and omit. I have understood, looking at the tension, I have seen the IPRO ministry lock all the communication unit to make sure sanity is brought into the pages. So which is your responsibility to do that one, and which you did. And when I also come into the council as the minister, I will also make sure that constitutional component of Edusa that gives me the power to be able to omit and then add members in consultation with the executive. So therefore, this will give us the opportunity to be able to bring sanity within all platforms.
Good morning, our viewers. Welcome back to another episode, Policy Debate, the Edusa 2026 election. I'm back here as your moderator, Sheikh Omar Fati, the Information and Communication Minister, 15 Executive Council. From the Education and Research Ministry, now we will turn our attention to the most important ministry in any student-led council. This ministry that is coming today, the candidates that are vying for these particular ministries, they are going to be the mouthpiece of the next council, that is 16 Executive Council. We all know that the Information and Communication Ministry is not a child ministry. So the Information and Public Relations Officer segment, the focus is going to be communication, branding, and also how to sell the council to the wider world, especially the university students. So therefore today we are going to give you exactly the questions that the students are asking, especially who is going to be their next Information and Communication Minister. Remember, whoever is going to be elected is going to serve as the face of the council. At the same time, also the constitution gives that person to be the spokesperson of the council. And we all know the first line of attack and defense is from the Information and Communication Ministry. So therefore today, policy debate is not going to be as business as usual. It's going to be different, because I'm going to make sure that the Edusa select the best candidates that is going to be their next Information and Communication Minister. So on that note, I would like to welcome all the candidates that are here right now in the studio, and I will give the opportunity to introduce themselves so that they can share their policies and programs to Edusans. So come 31st March, the Edusans have the power to decide who is going to be the next Information and Communication Minister. I don't have the power, the president don't have the power, the dean, no one have the power, but you, the Edusans, have the power to decide among these two who is going to be the next Information and Communication Minister. So I have both candidates in the studio, and these candidates, to remind you, they are from two different camps. The other candidate is from SSC, that is Student Service Council, and the other one is from Team Renaissance. So I will give them the opportunity to introduce themselves, and we're going to start the debates as usual. So Honorable, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fati, the moderator, and also greetings to my brother, Mr. Ture, and to everyone that is actually following this program out there, especially the Edusans. And also I want to express my sincere appreciation and thanks to Fine TV for giving us the opportunity to have this important debate here over the years. My name is Ibrahim Sow. I am vying for the position of Information and Public Relations Minister, commonly known as IPRO, in under the mighty team SSC, that is the Student Service Council. You will understand that the Student Service Council has over the years backed candidates who have done extremely well in the Education Students Association. You also understand that we are having the very program we are having here on Fine TV at the moment. It was as a result of the connection and the partnership that was built by Honorable Lamin Sane in the 13th Executive Council, of course, who came up with the idea of having this important partnership. Of course, not only Fine TV, but with Tranga FM as well. And these are two media houses that actually help promote the image of Edusa. And this is what we are here for. We are here to debate on our policies, and I hope we are going to have a fruitful discussion to prove to you that I am actually the right candidate in order to that is supposed to man the IPRO ministry, inshallah, come 31st March 2026. As I stated, my name is Ibrahim Sow, a third-year history major at the University of the Gambia under the School of Education. You will get to know more about me and what I want to do together with you, the Edusans, as we get into the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. So, for that. Now to my left, Honorable, the floor is yours. You can introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Prof. Fati. First of all, I have to thank Allah Almighty of giving us the strength and the opportunity to sit here and then exchange our ideas. I am Jibril Toure, vying for the IPRO candidate, and then I am chosen or selected by the 10-man committee of Team Renaissance that have given me the opportunity to be here as vying for the IPRO position, Public Relations Officer position, and then I believed I am competent enough to be able to lead this position. We have so many programs, so many policies in which we will discuss in our subsequent questions, and then I will use this opportunity to thank my opponent, that's my brother So, and then more thanks to Fine TV and our able moderator, that's Prof. Fati, and then the Edusans that are watching, and then that going to decide who is going to be their IPR, and I believed I will be the chosen one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Toure. And we heard from both candidates, Honorable Ibrahim Sow from SSC, that is Student Service Council, and Honorable Toure Jibril from Team Renaissance. Now, Honorable Toure, I want you to give us, especially the Edusans, about your educational background, your history when you come to education, because we all know that we need someone that is capable and competent to handle this position. So we want to know where you pass until you reach the University of the Gambia.
Prof. Fati, that's a wonderful question, because we know in academia we have to pass from one state to another. It's important for Edusans to know our education background so that they can have that confidence and that portfolio or that zeal to be able to put us in office. As I said, I am Jibril Toure. That started my educational journey in Pirang, Combo East, then promoted to or moved to Mindao Upper Basic School, then Mindao Senior Secondary School. From there, I then moved to Gambia College to pursue my PTC program. That's an extension program, which is a very intensive program. And then I was able to complete that one and taught for 2 years, and then came back for my advance in 2019, then completed in 2022, then posted to CRR, and then with that good zeal to serve Gambians, and then I was able to get the admission at the University of the Gambia, and then with the help of MRC Holland, I was able to grab the scholarship, then coming back to the university to pursue my educational program. As currently, I am a 200 level student majoring in agricultural science and minoring in environment. So far, this is my educational background, and then I believe I have answered your question.
Thank you, Honorable Ture, for that. And then, Honorable, so, same thing, can you tell us your educational background so that the Edusa know that who is going to be the next Information and Communication Minister?
Thank you so much, Mr. Fati. As I stated earlier, I am vying for the position of IPRO because actually I understand the importance of this ministry. And just to cut it short, let me answer your question, then we'll move further. I started my lower basic school at Kanuma Lower Basic School. From there, I went to Bara Esau Upper Basic School, then to St. Augustine Senior Secondary School in Banjul, and then moved to the Gambia College in 2013. And after completing my studies at the Gambia College, I was posted as a qualified teacher. I have taught in different schools, in different regions as well within the country, in West Coast, in CRR North, CRR South, and most recently at Lower River region. And from there, in 2023, I joined the University of the Gambia. Just to tell you, while I was in this journey, I have actually gathered so many experience that is actually aligned with the IPRO ministry. For instance, when I was at St. Augustine Senior Secondary School, I was a member of the press club. Not just a member of the press club, but I was an active member, a reporter as well, because of my desire for application. I was tasked with the responsibility of writing or covering reports, that is events that happen within the school or events that are connected to the school, such as interhouse or any other program that is actually linked to our school. And I was given that role. That is because there are other roles as well, because others were responsible for national news, others for international news, where they have to read newspapers or follow news in order to get their information. But then for me, I was given the task of writing, writing the report, covering an actual program, and then writing my own report, and then sharing it with the students. And that was thanks to my ability to write clearly and communicate in a way that people can easily understand.
I have to stop you there. Are you talking about your educational backgrounds, not your achievements? So now I have to ask you these questions. We have 11 different positions that is under Edusa, that is the 16th Executive Council, but you decided that you want to vie for the position of IPRO. Why IPRO? And we want to know, why do you apply, not other positions?
Just to make clarification before I move on, that is part of my educational background, because while I was in school, I was involved in these activities. And just to come to this other question, the IPRO ministry, I understand that it is an important ministry, and then it aligns with the work that I have been doing over the years, from the time I was in senior school to the Gambia College, and even at the University of the Gambia. So I understand that the IPRO ministry actually needs someone that understands the job, someone that can actually do the job, and not just that, but somebody that is able to actually send the good image of Edusa, which I am already doing. So this is the need for me to apply for this particular position. And I understand that other ministries, for instance, are doing well and things like that. So I want to add value to the IPRO ministry. As you mentioned earlier, it is one of the most important ministry. So it does not require someone that does not have the experience. It requires a person who actually have the experience, and that is the right individual sitting before you. That is Mr. Ibema. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ture. We have different 11 positions that students are vying for, but you decided to go for IPRO position. Why IPRO?
Thank you, Prof, for that wonderful question. As you said, there are a lot of portfolios, but going for IPRO position, we all understand this unit requires maturity. This unit requires competency, and this unit requires influence and an individual must be well spoken, and then the individual must be well connected in order to bring the good image, because as the constitution says, you become the mouthpiece. So being the mouthpiece, obviously, you have to be vocal, you have to be in communication skills, you must get the communication skills in order to sell the agendas, the programs, and the development of Edusa to the wider world, not only Edusans, but to the wider world. So I choose to come as an IPRO position because I believe I am competent enough with my experience, which we will able to state what we have done through Edusa and then what we have achieved as individual that couples with our positions. So I believe this is clear enough for me to be the right candidate for the IPRO ministry. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Now, Honorable, so this one I want you to be specific, no outside university, because this position belongs to Edusans, and the Edusans have to be informed according to how and why you're going to serve them. Now, my question is being this: before you vie for this position, what have you done for Edusans? You don't say what you have done for Gambia College or other institutions, but what have you done since you are in a third year, that is 300 level, student? What you have done from the fourth year up to right now, you are sitting here.
Thank you so much. Anyway, those of you who are students of the University of the Gambia, especially education students, Ibrahim Sow is actually not a new face, because I have been participating in most of the activities organized by the council, and currently I am a committee member under the Education and Research Ministry in the 15th Executive Council, where I play the role, where I do communication for the ministry. Most of the trainings and the activities that the Education Ministry organize, I am the one that actually make the necessary communication once it is published through the IPRO Ministry. So internally, I am the one that actually try to make sure that there is the proper communication. So that is one of the things that I do, and you understand that the Education and Research Ministry, as per the audit report, the last audit report, you understand that it is the highest performing ministry, and then some of us have been behind the scene working tirelessly to make that actually happen. So that is one way in which I have actually contributed to the development of Edusa. And you can, those of you who attended our trainings, you can attest to the fact that our trainings were well organized, and then we were able to invite facilitators that actually deserve to be invited. And that is one. Next, apart from that, you will understand that during the last Edusa week, I participated in the debate that was organized, and I emerged as the best debater, the best debater, that is the most outstanding debater during that competition. And not just that, through my experience in debating and things like that, I also represented the Education Students Association at a mentorship organized by the UTGDA. But not just that, I also represented Edusa through a kind of a day-long mentorship program that was also organized by the UTGDA, where we went to different schools within the Greater Banjul area, where I served as a speaker. And what I was doing there, I was sending the good image of Edusa. I was given the platform to talk about the School of Education, about how one can get entry into the School of Education and things like that. But not just that, through this program, I was able to actually tell students out there what the School of Education is all about, thereby sending the good image of Edusa. And then apart from that, I have participated in most of the activities there, whether cleaning, exercise, and things like that. So in that way, I've been participating, towards the development of Edusa.
Thank you. Honorable Ture, yeah. We want you to be straightforward, not outside the University of the Gambia. Sure. Since you joined the University of the Gambia, what have you done for the Edusans before vying for this position?
I think I have done a lot for Edusa, looking as a 200 level student. For my first year, I participated in Edusa week, that's the sport week, and then I was able to participate in the football where the year ones emerged victorious, and those ones are in records, and Edusans can witness that. From there, I also participated in the training, financial literacy training conducted by the finance ministry, which I participated fully. And then also looking at one of the most biggest program that is organized by School of Education is the nationwide tour. And for my first year, I joined the nationwide tour by contributing my resources, by participating fully, and not only a member, but I was given the chance to be a spokesperson. And I believe it's on records, and Fine TV, I believe they cover that program. And then those ones are clear evidence that looking at my coming to university as 200 level students, and then these are some of the contributions that I have made. And recently, the orientation of School of Education, I partake in that activities, which every Edusans have witnessed that. And then those ones are clear testimony that I have been rendering service to Edusans as from my first year coming to my second year. So I believe if I'm given the opportunity going to my third year, then therefore Edusa will see a greater positive aspect at my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. So, you are able to convince SSC and they select you as their candidates to come and vie for the position of IPRO under the 16th Executive Council. I want to give you an opportunity to convince your opponent here to withdraw his candidature so that you can go for honor post.
Thank you so much. First,
yeah, in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Exactly. You need to understand that my opponent here is actually in the learning process. I have already done what I am supposed to do now. I will continue to do so, and I think it will be honorable of him to actually join me in promoting the good image of Edusa. One of the reasons why I am stating this is because when you look at my track record, when you look at what I have been doing, every bit of that is aligned with with communication with the IPRO ministry, and with that, I think he should actually join me so that we work together in order to actually promote the good image of Edusa and work for Edusans.
I want you to look at his eyes. This one is not about Edusa. It's about him. Tell him, resign and I am the right candidate. That's what I want you to convince him.
No, it's not about him. It's about the Edusan. Because what I am telling him
is to put you at the position now.
What I understand.
So if he clear away, then you have the chance to serve.
This is it. Like he is getting me. We are talking to the Edusans. So this is because there are how to call it. He is from a camp. You understand? Recently I have asked one of an individual, an influential individual from their camp. I said, why? Okay, I need your vote. He said, no, I already have somebody that I'm going to vote for. And I asked him the question, why won't you vote for me? So and I am going to ask the same question to my opponent here. Why won't you vote for me? Because I know there would not be any ideal answer that he's going to give. Because already you see, there's a difference. I want to tell you one thing, that this position I did not apply for this position in order to learn from it.
All right.
I already have the experience.
Time is up. The 2 minutes is up. Now, the same question to Honorable Ture. Honorable, you are able to convince Team Renaissance and they bring you as their candidates. I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk to Mr. So and convince him to withdraw his candidature so that he can go for unopposed in 2 minutes.
Yeah, Ibrahima, I want to use this opportunity to prove to you that with my track record and my experience that I have gathered as a PTC teacher and advanced diploma holder and a seasonal administrator, that I am dealing with human resources and I am dealing with communication. So therefore, I believe I'm the right candidate looking at our track records and our experience. So I believe this one will convince you, not only looking at your camp, but the betterment of Edusa. Here is not about the camp. Here is about you and I giving me the opportunity based on those policies that we're going to put in place for you to give your votes to me and they represent you well in the council. I believe you are able to give me your vote based on this information that I passed to you.
All right, thank you so much for that. All right. So you all had that. Now they're going to decide whether after the interview, one of them will withdraw so that we can go for on our post. But that one is left to the both of them to decide. Right. So now, Honorable, I'm now going to give you 5 minutes to talk about your policies and programs. This is going to be opportunity for you to talk to Edusans so that they know the programs or the policies that you have for them, and is going to give them the reason whether they are going to vote for you to become their next IPRO or not. So you have 5 minutes to sell your policy and your programs.
Thank you so much. It is very funny. You see, somebody that wants to learn and somebody that already has the knowledge, who should actually withdraw? So this is the question. I think my brother here that is today should be should actually come and join me. I think that is something that I know he is here, but perhaps against his will. Anyway, to give you the policies I have. And you understand that in the School of Education, that is, we are a mature school. The students there, most of them are actually mature students, and therefore they need somebody that actually has the maturity to actually lead the IPRO ministry, and that is what I actually have. One of the policies that I actually want to work with Edusans in order, one of the policies that I have, which I want to implement together with you, the Edusans, is the promotion of responsible and peaceful communication. One may ask, why that policy? See, that policy came, I came up with this policy because there is a need to bring hygiene into our communication, especially in our social media platforms. Usually there is a question that is asked, what are you going to do with regards to unity for Edusans? I said Edusans are united. When we meet, we greet each other, we laugh, we chat, and do things like that. However, the problem that we are having is in our social media platform. Even the IPRO himself, during the last debate, the sport minister, he acknowledged that the problem we have is in our social media platform. For instance, the one our WhatsApp platform, in the political and social bantaba. So therefore, I understand that is a problem. Even the IPRO minister himself acknowledged it. So therefore, I want to work together with you, the Edusans, in order to promote peaceful and responsible communication. How am I going to do this? I am going to come up with communication guidelines which will guide our communication within the School of Education. That is, for instance, our official social media platform, such as the political bantaba and the social media platform. So if these guidelines will help us to know what we are actually supposed to say and things that we are not supposed to say. So I'm going to promote issue-based discussion rather than discussing about people, about what somebody has or not, because that is actually not important. What is important is for us to discuss based on issues, not to send people's like someone's image there and then you caricature the person. That is something I'm going to work with you. I want to work together with you, the Edusans, on. Apart from that, I also want to come up within the same policy. I want to come up with a communication channel where serious concerns that the education students actually have will be channeled to the council without using hostile language. And this way, we will be able to promote peaceful and responsible communication within the School of Education. Apart from that, we understand that the 13th Executive Council, that is under the leadership of Honorable Lamin Sane, in the IPRO Ministry, he was able to build two important partnerships, that is with Fan TV and Teranga FM. But since then, we do not expand that. We limit ourselves to that. So we should expand this partnership. Okay, because the more partnership we have, the more visibility we are, and the more we have visibility, the more we actually send the good image of Edusa. So through this partnership also, we are going to come up with training, basic digital skill training, which is actually necessary, because as teachers, the world is dynamic. We understand that the world is dynamic now. Things are changing and people are using technology. Like in the school that I was teaching before I joined university, we are using technology in order to teach. So teachers require those basic skills in order to be able to, teach and teach well in the future, because at one point in the future, we as teachers, we are going to need technology, and in fact we have started using it. So we need at least the basic training, especially for the fourth year students, and gradually, because it's going to be a legacy I'm going to leave behind, so that people will do it gradually. And apart from that, we are also going to come up with what we call debate, in order to reduce the hostile language and the messages that we are having on our social media platform. We will use this partnership. We understand that we have the Edusa Hour, which is actually dying, because we are not. How many Edusans know that we have Edusa Hour at Fine TV and Teranga FM? Very few. So we are going to revitalize that. We are going to make sure that we strengthen this partnership, and then make sure that we have debate, so that we invite not just people from the council or within a particular circle, but individuals from out, let's say, Edusans. There are so many Edusans who have very important things to share. So we can invite them on board, so that they will come and then, they debate on issues. And then this will help us to clear certain doubt in the constitution and things like that. So that's a good starting point.
Thank you.
This will reduce the hostile language that we have in our social media platform. We have other policies which we are going to unveil during the convention. Thank you.
Right, now to Honorable Tule, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to talk to Edusa and share your policies and program. This is an opportunity for you to talk to them, so that they decide whether they're going to vote for you as the next IPRO on the 16th Executive Council. So you have 5 minutes.
I think it's important for us to understand that every minister comes with a policy and adjust the efforts that has been done by your predecessors. In this, we were able to move the status quo of the institution. My policy, I have 5 main policies that I will give it to you in summary, but I think the best day for you to be able to get that would be the convention day. One of the key policies that I come with is encourage inclusivity. Encouraging inclusivity, how are we going to do that? We understand that the IPRO ministry is informing students regularly, but I also comes with a policy that will strengthen the inclusivity within School of Education, because I've understand that when you looked at our information channel, the Islamic students and the French students that are within the School of Education, all messages are sent, all dispatches are sent in English language. So I believe they also have the right to information, and they also have to digest the message that is sent to our platform, so that they feel themselves as part of School of Education. And in this component or this policy, we bring all of them into board. And how am I going to achieve this policy? I'm going to select in my committee to make sure I get 2 competent Islamic students and 2 competent French students, that we are able to work as a team. We work as a team to make sure this policy is achieved. Second of my policy is transparent communication. When it comes to transparent communication, we understand that I and my opponent, we are sent here by a camp to be able to win the hearts of Edusans. But immediately we are voted in, therefore we are representing Edusans. So information that is being sent to our platform, even if it is coming from the opponent camp, has to be shared widely, and there should not be any bias. And then I will make sure to put this message to Edusans that when I am voted into the office, with my ministry, I will be able to give right information at the right time, despite where the information is coming from. But part of my policy is dynamic social media. When we look at the dynamic social media, we understand that our constitution is giving us the mandate to be able to control our social media platform and create platform where information will be sent from the council to the student body or to the general students body. So in that dynamics, it will understand that, or you will understand that the message that is going to be sent has to be clear, accurate, and time bound. In that aspect, that policy will be able to implement, and then will strengthen the effort of the other information ministers that we inherited. Part of my fourth of my policy would be training and workshop, because we understand that we are in a digital world. You cannot be leading people whilst they are not well acquainted when it comes to technology. I will use that opportunity to inform Edusans, to train them when it comes to information and skills needed when they are sharing dispatches or when they are sharing their opinions in the political bantaba, social bantaba, and other platforms. Finally, the fifth one that I will try to work on is to revitalize the Edusa domain, because we are in platforms like Fine TV and other stations. I will use my influence through the 16th Executive Council to be able to partner with other media houses in order to sell the image of Edusa to the wider world, because we believed as IPROs, we are the mouthpiece. So being the mouthpiece, you need a channel that will be able to sell the agenda, the program, and the achievement of the students on the School of Education, because we all understand that we are educationists, and then we craft writers, and writers needs to be celebrated. So this platform will be given the opportunity to writers to be able to sell their programs, their policies, so the School of Education writers will be victorious. And then therefore, I want to use this opportunity to inform Edusans that these policies are time bound, and then we'll be able to attain it with collective responsibility, and then with maturity, we'll be able to achieve these policies. So I will appeal to all of you to come for the convention day in order to give more details about these policies. I will thank Prof. I believe these are my policies for Edusans, and they will be able to vie for these policies. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. The Edusans, to remind those who are joining us, you are watching Fine TV live on the Far Out Studio, bringing you Edusa 2026 policy debate. And here in the studio, we have candidates that are vying for the position of IPRO under the 16th Executive Council. So the election date is going to be on the 31st March 2026. So all Edusans are encouraged to come out in their large numbers to select or to choose their next IPRO, who is going to be their mouthpiece. Honorable, so we know that especially Edusans, many of them are busy. They don't read dispatch, they don't read messages that are shared across the various platforms. So if you are elected as the next IPRO, what strategies are you going to bring on board so that the Edusans are well informed? You have 1 minute to answer this question.
Thank you so much. See, because you, as a leader, you need to be innovative. When you are using, let's say if you are watching TV, let's say TV channel, for instance, if you don't enjoy that program, you tune into another channel. So we have been doing the same thing, that is sending dispatches in our videos, let's say in the political bantaba or the social bantaba or other this thing. So it is not actually effective, as you mentioned, based on what I understand. So what am I going to do differently so that people actually read dispatches? I'm going to come up with, I understand, I have searched, but I did not see. I asked, but I did not have any tangible answer. That we do not have a WhatsApp channel. It is very easy to create a WhatsApp channel, just like the UTG-SU. You can have WhatsApp channel, and information relating to education, for the information that is meant for the education students, can easily be shared there, and people can easily read such information. Because when you say it in the other platform, let's say the political bantaba, all messages will be flowing. Our messages will just be flowing, and some people will not have time to scroll down in order to reach that information. So what I'm going to do is to create a WhatsApp channel where students can easily have daily, like they can check the WhatsApp channel in order to see whether there is an official information from Edusa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Ture. Now, Edusans that don't read messages, it's difficult to communicate. Now, if you are elected as the next IPRO, what strategies are you going to bring so that they are well informed and they read the message?
I think I'll connect this answer
in 1 minute.
My fifth policy. We understand that it's the constitution that is giving the power to the IPRO to create a social media channel. And we all know that the current trending social media channel is TikTok. And then I believe Edusans did not have a TikTok page. This is a clear indication that if chance is given to me, I will use that platform in order to send the educative messages where Edusans will have chances to follow. And also, we understand that if people are not reading messages, you bring a captivative picture, a design that will send the message that you have in connection to the pictures, because we have seen other units have been doing it and it is successful. So therefore, that will give us Edusans to be able to understand that the information that I cannot read, I will not have time to read. Actually, this is the exact picture that is trying to portray. So therefore, that will give chance to Edusans, no need for them to scroll to the entire message, but to be able to see the video or the picture and able to understand what it takes.
Thank you.
I will use that platform.
Thank you so much. Now, Honorable, so you are, if you are elected, you're going to be the mouthpiece. How will you use your authority as the Information and Communication Minister to elevate the Edusa brand on platforms like Find TV?
just to tell you something important here.
Yes.
That we are talking about people finding it difficult to read messages and things like. If you put it on TikTok, honestly, there are some people who do not have TikTok account. That means we are sending the information out of Edusa instead of doing it within. So I think that is something that Edusans are not actually willing to listen to. So the issue is, like, we need a channel, WhatsApp channel. That's what we need. Only official information will be shared there. Easier to read, no other message or whatsoever. Nothing, no need to scroll, because whenever you come, you need the other message that was sent there. That's what you're going to meet there. So to answer your question, how am I going to, improve the image of Edusa, right? In platforms like this thing, Fine TV. We have the Edusa Hour. People don't, to be frank, people don't know that we have the Edusa Hour on Fine TV and Trial FM. We can have, we need to inform the students. They need to know and invite education students so that they will feel part of the process. They will part of, they will see themselves within the education, within the IPR ministry. Students need to see themselves, and one way to do that is to invite them and encourage them, and also inform them, sensitize them to also understand there is a partnership with Fine TV and there's Edusa Hour.
Thank you.
And that way, we will be able to talk about so many good things about the School of Education. That way, people will build interest to watch our program, follow them, and also know what is actually going on. Not just for the students within education, but outside as well. Thank you.
To remind you that you have to stick to the question that we are answered. The debunks and the rebuttals will come at the end. If you use your time to debunks, when it's time up, we're going to stop you. So
I think there's a guideline.
So now to you, Honorable Ture. Now, if you are elected as the next IPRO, you will have the authority to elevate Edusa brands on platforms like Fine TV. How are you going to do that?
I think first of all, we need to respect the trajectory of the program, because I believe the debunk and rebuttal will come later. So what matters is, let's focus on the questions, and when we reach to that component, we're able to sort it out. And to make this question clear, we understand that platforms are created. The brand starts from the IPRO minister himself and his ministry. What do you have, and what connection do you have with the outsiders? Like, we have Fine TV, we have so many TV stations, we have so many radio stations. What connection do you have with those people? With my ministry, with the connection that I have, I will be able to connect Edusa to other platforms where our programs and our policies and the achievements of our students that are within University of Education is sold not only within School of Education, not only within university, but the country at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, so the main communication channel at the University of the Gambia, especially under the Edusa, we use WhatsApp to communicate so many dispatch or any information from the council to the general student body or from the faculty office. And we all know that having a data sometimes is difficult. So how are you going to communicate to students that are not online in 2 minutes?
How am I going to communicate with students who are actually not online? So it is important to state this, that we see it is not only WhatsApp that we have other social media platforms like Facebook, for instance. Our Facebook page, I think, has been dormant for quite some time now. So that is one way in order to communicate with Edusan. So the fact is, every Edusan is actually using, is expected to have a smartphone. Because we believe most of them have smartphones, because that's where we communicate, do most of our communication directly with students. So I think, apart from having if WhatsApp communication fail, if we are unable to do that, what one innovative thing that we can do is to have a, which is going to be difficult, although let's say SMS service, but I don't think that is more ideal. I will work with the technical and logistic minister to see a way out, whether it's going to be a board sort of that we can actually. I understand we don't. Faraba is not totally fully handed over to the school or things like that, because this has been something that people usually say. So, but we will come up with a device working with the incoming technical and logistic minister, who is going to be Mamadi Jejalo. We will be able to devise a system where we can also write and yes, okay. Is at the we will encourage people to visit the Edusa, how to call it, office for information, where we can paste certain information or and the like. But I understand the program with the Edusa Hour and things like that on Fine TV, because if you have it constantly, you will be able to also sell out the image of Edusa and Teranga FM as well. People can follow the information. And doing round classes is another way of sending information to Edusans, apart from using apart from the WhatsApp channel as well. You can go around, tell Edusans like important, especially important and urgent information. We can go around the classes to inform, because as the IPRO, you have a committee. You are not alone, so you can do that. The School of Education is not as big as other schools, but we can do that within few minutes. Go around the classes and inform Edusans, and when one get the information, the person can also relate the same information to another. But I understand it's difficult to see an Edusan without a smartphone.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ture. Now, the same questions to you. Not all students have data for WhatsApp, and then the main means of communication in the University of the Gambia, especially Edusa, we use WhatsApp to communicate. So now, how are you going to communicate to the students that are not online or using WhatsApp?
Thank you so much, Prof, for
in 2 minutes.
That wonderful question. I understand that the social media platforms always use data. So the only solution that you can send messages and inform Edusans is to create a platform where you will write the dispatches and print it out and then paste it, because we know every Edusans will come and then attend lectures. So if it is pasted, and where we were able to have information unit, because we have an office and that office is functional. So if you print out the information and then paste it at the entrance, or create a place where you inform Edusans that in case you are not online and you come to campus, you want to know what is happening, can you please check on the other components, and then you're able to get the message. I believe this is the shortest way for us to do it, because when you talked about WhatsApp and other stuff, Facebook, is all involving data. And here you were saying if an individual did not have data. So the manual has to operate in order to send the information. I know it's not going to be 100% effective, but it's also the right means for you to be able to at least send a message to Edusans. Thank you.
Thank you. You can keep the mic. In 1 minute now, Edusa is always the most talked about association. And then if you are elected, how are you going to maintain this to continue?
We understand that
in 1 minute.
Edusa, as an individual, I always tell people, taking the portfolio is one, but you taking the portfolio, how do you brand yourself to Edusans? How do you brand yourself to Edusans? I am positive and then responsible, respectful when it comes to dealings in Edusa. I believe when I am voted in, I will be able to bring that unity, that strength that is there for us to be able to justify that. I think even my opponent here can bear me witness when there was, during the campaign period, there was a push and pull between the two camps. I was the only neutral guy that was able to bring sanity in that ground. So that maturity that I have manifested is still in me, and then I will be able to persuade and to bring sanity to Edusa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. So, Edusa is the most talked about association. Now, if you are elected as the IPRO, how are you going to maintain this in 1 minute?
Okay, thank you so much. I think the last part that my opponent actually mentioned is important. We make clarification. Where he talked about, he was the one that he was the neutral guy that wanted to separate it whatsoever. I think that is actually propaganda. I think it is propaganda. In fact, it is propaganda, because within the same duration, I was trying to talk to an individual that was allegedly to have been involved in the act. As I was addressing it, somebody like somebody, because people were sitting from the other people from the other camp were sitting behind us. They took my picture without I wasn't aware of that. That happened. So and then the same picture was attached to the one that he is talking about. That was a propaganda this thing. I think it's important we clarify that. So if wanting a position should not warrant you to be doing other things that might just easily just to have cheap popularity and things like that. It's important. I train people on non-violent communication. Not just that.
Thank you. Sir.
I understand.
Thank you. Let's stick to the questions that we are asking. Otherwise, time is not in our side. We are working on a TV, so we have to respect the time. Now, Honorable Ture, visibility is influence. What is your master plan to make Edusa the most talked about and respected association at the University of the Gambia?
Yeah, I think
in 2 minutes.
Doing this, the Constitution is giving us the power to be able to control all the social media platform of Edusa. So if Constitution is giving you that power, now it becomes your responsibility to act maturely and send the right information that will sell the image and the agenda of Edusa. We all attest to that it's a matured school. So from the matured school, any information that is trying to send to the outside world should be something that is captivating, that will encourage a lot of people to become teachers that can come to school of education. As under my ministry, when Edusa vote me in, I will make sure I control all platforms to be able to send right information and also right information at the right time to be able to inform Edusans with maturity and then consistency. I believe that answered your question.
Thank you. Honorable, in 2 minutes, visibility is influence. If you are elected, what is going to be your master plan to make Edusa the most talked about and respected association at the University of the Gambia? Please stick to the question, please.
Thank you so much. What am I going to do in order to make sure that happens is very simple. As I stated, I have a policy based on responsible and peaceful communication. You see, responsible and peaceful communication can easily sell out the good image. That is one way to do that. And apart from that, having no media, let's say, engagement. And I want to emphasize still now, see, let us not take this Edusa Hour at Tranga FM and Fan TV lightly, because that is the easiest way to actually send the good image of Edusa. Is that clear? And as I stated, having very good communication guidelines. You see, when people actually know we have good communication guideline and we follow this communication guideline, and there are awareness, there will be awareness creation through short videos and short messages that reminding Edusans of the importance of having a pause before you post, that is taking your time before you say anything. And then the other aspect is like organizing a debate. As I mentioned earlier, one of the policies I have, I'm going to organize debate where people will discuss issues rather than people on platforms like Fine TV. Sometimes it could be an open debate. It's not going to be a competitive debate. It's going to be based on policies, because in the School of Education, we understand you have in education, we have different philosophies, different principles, different educational policies. Others agree with, others disagree. There are some that people agree with. There are others who also disagree with others. So what we are going to do through this debate, we can discuss. The debate will be an intellectual platform for Edusans to discuss. And this way, we will be able to send the good image of Edusa. What are we talking about here? People discussing this on in an intellectual platform. So there would not be anything. There will not be nothing like. There will not be anything like insults and caricature and things like that. Issue-based discussion. I think other schools will, in fact, copy from the university, from the school of education, and that is what we actually need.
Thank you. You can keep. Honorable Section 16 says, law give you the most. You must communicate all official matters. If the council make a mistake, will you be honest with the students, or will you hide the truth to protect your council?
Can you qualify the question? By mistake, you mean what? What mistake are you talking about, please?
Yeah, if there is a fault that is going on within the council and the students need to know, are you going to bring out the truth, or are you going to hide and protect the council?
Well, as the Information and Public Relations Minister, I understand that I have a responsibility and the responsibility is to communicate information from the council to the general student body. So I have to be responsible here. Not every information is fit for public consumption. So I understand that principle there, because whatever I am going to, but based on transparency, I'm not going to hide anything that is, as you said, need, because if the student need to know, they have to know. That has to be said. But also understand that you have a responsibility as part of the code of conduct for maintaining, because council will take collective decision. Collective decision taken by the council, you must relate those such information to the students. But it's not every information that you relate to the students. I think that is important to note. I do communication. I am trained on communication, on how to properly communicate. There are issues that you don't just communicate. There are issues that are fit for public consumption, then you share them. Anything that will tarnish the image of Edusa, of our school, I think we need to pause before we post anything. We take our time before we post anything. But everything that I assure the students that any information that they actually need, I am going to make sure that it is provided to them. That will erase the idea of rumors. As I stated, I'm going to have a proper communication channel from the student body to the council, and from the council to the student body. So that way, rumors will be eliminated. There will not be anything like the issue of not being transparent and things like that. But I understand my constitutional function as well.
Thank you. So, Honorable, the same thing, the law says that you must communicate all official matters. If the council make a mistake, will you be honest with the students, or will you hide and the truth to protect the council? In 1 minute, please.
I think here one thing has to be cleared. There is what we call executive discussion, and there is what is discussed in executive level to be shared to the student's body. Not every information has to be sent to the student body, because the discussion of the council, looking at it, might be within internal issues, and those internal issues, if it is shared, can bring disintegration within the association. And it is your primary responsibility, or would be my primary responsibility as the IPRO, to maintain that sanity. So information that is fit for the general members will be given to the general members. So information that we believed can able to disintegrate Edusans, which would be my responsibility to protect, I will protect that information. To make sure we send information that will unify Edusans, and we send information that will throw light to Edusans, and to send information that will unify Edusans. But I'm not going to be an IPRO that will divide Edusans in terms of sharing messages. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable. So now you'll be responsible for all the WhatsApp groups, and then our WhatsApp group, sometimes we have a lot of things that happen there, especially during the campaign periods. Now, if you are elected as the next IPRO, what code of conduct are you going to bring, please, in 2 minutes, and then to answer the questions, please?
Yeah, I think it is just, I'm going to repeat myself here, because I said there is a policy I have, that is having communication guideline on our various WhatsApp platforms or social media platforms. So these communication guidelines, or you may call them conduct, or they're going to be code of conduct. They are going to be shared for everyone to see, and then we will make sure that we engage the students through my ministry. I'm going to do that together with my committee members. We engage the students and tell them the importance of maintaining these communication guidelines. I think that will really help us to have a smooth discussion. We understand that people can have disagreement, they can discuss. That is important, that is good, that is normal. But then you have to be responsible in how you communicate. And through this communication guideline that we are going to develop, it is going to help us to maintain that. I understand this. One thing I observed, when you look at section 16, subsection 5, A and B, it actually empowers the IPRO minister to admit or remove students from the various platforms. We know that. But then but there are conditions. That is, you must, as the IPRO, before you can add people, but before you remove any individual, there has to be in consultation with the executive council. That is what it is that is what is provided for in section 16, subsection 5, A and B. Unfortunately, of recent incident, we have seen other members being removed from the platform at will, without consulting the executive council, and that is a violation of the Edusa constitution. So as the incoming IPRO, I understand my responsibility, and I know that I have the responsibility to follow and observe the provisions in our constitution. I will always go by the constitution. I will not be someone who will just randomly bastardize the constitution, because if a leader fails to actually follow the established rules or communication, the established rules, that leader is going to be a threat to any institution, and I'm not going to be that leader.
Thank you. Honorable Ture, now you'll be responsible if you are elected as the next IPRO 16 Executive Council. What specific rule or code of conduct will you implement to make sure our official forum are professionally and useful?
I think this
In 2
question,
minutes, yeah.
this question, the constitutions of Edusa given the IPRO that mandate, that power to be able to add and omit. I have understand, looking at the tension, I have seen the IPRO ministry lock all the communication unit to make sure sanity is brought into the pages. So which is your responsibility to do that one, and which you did. And when I also come into the council as the minister, I will also make sure that constitutional component of Edusa that gives me the power to be able to omit and then add members in consultation with the executive. So therefore, this will give us the opportunity to be able to bring sanity within all platforms. I think that has answered your question.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, Honorable, so to remind you, you are watching Policy Debate 2026 at Fine TV live on Farato Studio. I'm your moderator, Selma Fati, Information and Communication Minister, 15 Executive Council. Honorable, so the law allows you to remove members from forum for misconduct. Now, how will you ensure that the power that is in your hand is not silencing the critic, or you use it against your opponent? In 1 minute.
Thank you so much. We have seen this in the past, and I'm not going to be an IPRO that is going to be biased. I'm going to be straightforward. I'm going to be impartial. And to do this, as I stated, through the code of conduct reminding Edusa, because I will not just be removed. We will make sure that we remind them the importance of having a pause before you post anything, taking your time before you post anything. My constitutional mandate, I understand it, and I know I cannot just remove anybody at will. I need to consult, because that is what section 5 subsection A and B, that is what it provides for. That is, first, you must consult the executive council before you remove any individual, and it must be established as to why the individual, or as to what code of conduct the individual actually violates. So in order to do that, I'll make sure that I engage, because I will not just remove people, I will engage them. I am going to engage people. Before we remove anyone, we will engage you to make sure that before we actually take that action, we will make sure that we exhaust all other avenues of engagement before we actually remove you. And it's going to be strict, not for SSC or Renaissance. It's going to be across.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, the same question now. The section 16 allow you to remove members from forum for misconduct. How will you ensure that this power is not used to silence or against your opponent?
I believe when someone violated, we have to make findings what causes the action. Then therefore, as the Constitution section 16 subsection 5AB gives you the mandate to add members and also give you the power to remove with conditions, and in these conditions, putting the executive into consultations, I believe the executive also should question the individual that is found wanting, to look at the gravity of the crime, whether it suits for the individual to be removed, because the individual is a legitimate member of School of Education. So removing the individual must be something that is realistic, and if it is proven and then sent to Edusans, we all understand that it's a genuine cost. Then therefore, you as an IPRO, you will not be witch hunt, and then you will not also seen as somebody that is biased, but you will see it as you are working per the Constitution. So that's what I'm going to use.
Thank you. You can keep the mic. If you are elected as the next IPRO, your responsibility is going to be to make sure that the informations are shared. how available are you going to be so that the Edusans can access to their IPRO at any time, at any moment they need you?
Yeah, this is a very good question. I believe Edusans are watching, and then I am somebody that if I vie for something, I give responsibility to it. Because I know there are so many competent people at the School of Education. You have intellectuals there. So if they give me the chance to take this position, I should understand that I am there to serve Edusans, and I will give you that promise. I will always be there for you to make sure your information are channeled at the right time with consistency and maturity and with clarity, inshallah. So I will give you that assurance that if you vote me in, I'll be there for you. And the energy is still there, and then I am young and able to be able to serve your purpose. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, the same questions. If you are become the next IPRO, and we all know that the Edusans are going to need you, and then if they want to access you, are you going to be available for them at any time they knock on your door?
Thank you so much. Unlike my opponent, for me, I am a full-time student. I am not taking any other part-time job or any other job. I'm a student at the School of Education, so I don't have any other job. So I am going to give time for Edusa. I have already given Edusa time, and I am giving them time, and I will continue to give them time. You know, one thing with me, I am approachable. I am, you can easily reach it, you can easily talk to me, and I am also available. So the IPRO minister needs to be available whenever you are needed. So you should be there, because information, students, the council will need to share information at any time, and then you should be available. And once you are contacted, you should be there. I'm always at the school. I am present. I don't have any other job because I'm on study leave. I am a full-time student at the university. So you can, on campus, I'm always available. Even sometimes if I don't have class, I am there to interact with, to do one or two things. So I'm always there. So I don't wait to be given the responsibility in order to be responsible. I'm already responsible.
Thank you. Now you can hold the mic. That will come if you are elected as a information and communication minister. There will be a conflict at the council between you and the general and the council members. So if there is a time whereby you know that this message has to go, and the council or the president is telling you to redefine or rewrite your messages, and you know that the message that you wrote or draft is in line with your constitutional and your functional duties, are you going to bow down to the president, or you are going to do what the constitution says? In 1 minute.
Okay. When you look at it, when you look at the code of conduct, usually official dispatches from the council, most of the time it passed through the secretary general, that's the SG, and usually whenever the SG drafts something, that there has to be something that is based on consensus. So therefore, unless there is an error or whatsoever, because there could be error, the president might detect, let's say, an error there and things like that. So if it is reasonable, then you can change it in order to make sure that it is you are sending the right image without just sending something haphazardly to the public. So in that case, you can listen, because you are not working in isolation. You are working as a team. Okay, you're working as a team. You are not just one individual. You have a group of individuals with you that you're actually working with. So when they advise you on certain things, you need to listen. That does not mean you are going to be manipulated and things like that in order to change information. Not that. You are going to send something that is actually accurate, because the drafting or writing or whatsoever is the SG's job, but then the dissemination is that of the IPRO. Thank you.
Now, to Honorable Ture, the same thing, and there will come a time where there will be misunderstanding if you are elected as the next IPRO, and then if you write something or draft something, and that one, the president or the council members are not, but you did it according to the constitution and function of the IPRO. Are you going to bow down to the president, or you're going to do exactly what the constitution says?
I believe here the constitution is bigger than I as an IPRO and the president. So if the constitution gives me the mandate to be able to send information, if it doesn't go well with the president, that's the president. He has his, constitutional powers. Constitution gives him his responsibility, and the same constitution gives me my responsibility. I believe if my operation is in line with the constitution of Edusa, then I have to send that information. The information is in line with the constitution. So I don't think the president should question whether I should send it or whether I should not send it. As far as it's in line with the constitution, and then I am acting based on the part of or the section of the constitution that gives me the power to be able to send this message, the president has no power to stop me of not sending the information. So I believe I have right to send the information, which I will send.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So that brings to the end of the questions that I have for the IPROs. Now I'll give them the opportunity to ask each other. I'll give them maximum 2 questions to ask each other. But here you have to be specific. Ask your question and answer it. And I'm going to give you 1 minute because we are running out of time to answer your question. If you fail to answer your question within that specific time, I will stop you and take the mic from you. So I'll start with Honorable. You have the opportunity now to ask your question to Mr. Ture. Mr. Ture, you have 1 minute to answer.
Thank you so much. It is I have an observation before I ask my question. Of course, I am going to ask my question. Before we started, you reminded us that you told us that we are going to talk about our track records. So you said, when I started, you said educational background. When I started my educational background, I wanted to give my track records that aligns with the with that of my work, that the work of the IPRO. You said no, it is your educational background alone. Give that one. But I have not realized whether we have a time. There was no question with regards to our track record, direct question with regards to our track record. I remember when I wanted to talk about that, you said there will be a time for that, but we do not have that, because I understand. Because when it comes to our track record, you will understand that
you have to stop you. Okay.
Yeah.
Answer the question if you have questions. If you don't have questions, then we move to the.
So now I'm making.
Yes.
You said
you are not here to tell us what to do. Okay. Just ask if you have. If you don't have, then we move to the other side.
I'm just making an observation. No, so I think that is important. I have a question. My question to my colleague here, that is Mr. Ture. Mr. Ture.
Yes.
For me, I have experience with regards to communication. I'm trained on communication. I have served as a program coordinator and also a communication officer for a particular organization that is Defend Human Rights. I moderated our radio programs and things like that, and I also serve as the IPRO of the UTG History Society. And not just I have most of my work, when you look at it, it aligns with communication. So I want to ask you, what experience do you have when it comes to working as an IPRO, purely as an IPRO, please? Whether you have that experience, you can share with us, please.
Yeah, I respect your question, and then I believe you get a positive answer from it. Looking at my educational background and then looking at my experience as a teacher, and then we believe that communication does not only mean you go to the media and send messages. Communication is about sending information from the organization you are working to the general population. And also, if you are working in schools, if you are an administrator, you are taking the responsibility as a communication unit, because I currently serve as a deputy manager, which I believed the profession or the portfolio I am looking for has a connection to that. And another one, currently, I am the program coordinator of Busumbala Youth Consequency, which I have been coordinating a lot of programs. So I believed with this experience, I am fit for purpose. I believe that answered your question.
Thank you. It's your turn now to ask the question, and you have 1 minute to answer that question.
Honorable, in case the policy that you are going to put for Edusans, and then you are given that opportunity to man the position, and then you are unable to fulfill those policies, what would be your stand for Edusans?
In 1 minute.
Thank you so much. So just to clarify, my opponent has actually proven that he does not have any experience with regards to communication or serving as an IPR or serving as an information minister and things like that. He does not have that experience. He actually told us just now. And apart from that, thank you for the question. I have 5 policies, and these policies I'm going to make sure that they are implemented. They are going to be implemented, and where they are not, I'll be honorable enough to tell Edusans, which I'm 100% sure all these policies I have because they don't require finance and things like that. You can easily conduct these policies I have without within a short duration. So they are going to be implemented. I'm going to attend my policies. So I think that is very clear. So if you have doubt with your policies, I understand that, but for me, I do not have any doubt with my policies. Thank you.
Thank you. It's your turn to ask your final question. And you have 1 minute to answer.
Mr. Ture, let's say I understand, because based on what you were saying, like you were working, you said you are like an administrator or something like that at the moment. For me, I am a full-time student. I am not having any other part-time job. I have time for Edusa because I understand this position requires time. So, how about you? How are you going to convince Edusans that we are going to have you all the time? We actually need you, because based on what you say here, you are busy. You are somebody that's actually busy, and that is evident during the campaign and things like that. But sometimes you are not on the ground and things like that. So I want to know whether you are actually going to give time to Edusans at the expense of your work. For me, I don't have any other work. I am a full-time student. Thank you.
Yeah, I think first of all, we have to clear that portion. During the campaign, I was missing because the moderator was saying there are issues outside that should not be discussed. And then I will respect that because my mom is sick and my mom is there to me. So I have to be there for her. So I want that portion to be cleared. And then for you to understand that communication deals with gadgets, and it doesn't mean that your face has to be appeared. You're dealing with technology, and then you also understand that you are not only alone in that committee. You'll be having assistants, and also you'll be having a team. But to put clarify your answer, I'll be there for Edusans, and then with my committee, we'll be able to make a positive change for Edusa.
Thank you. I think you are going to be the last person to answer.
Yes, I will.
So it is going to be your final questions to Mr. Anil. You have 1 minute to answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand that when you looked at success in our ministries, how are you going to measure your success to Edusans in line with your policy, and what metrics are you going to use to measure?
In 1 minute, please.
Thank you so much for answering the question that I asked as well, and also thank you for asking this question. Well, how am I going to measure? You understand that we have I have my policies, right? So at regular interval, together with my team, we are going to evaluate what went right and what went wrong. What are the things that we are able to achieve? What are the things that we are not able to achieve? Because we are going to work as a team. I think that would be an easy way to actually understand without any complex or whatsoever method or whatsoever. The simplest way is to work with my team. Whenever, like, we have a timeline for every activity. For every activity we plan, because we'll have the action plan. There will be a timeline for it, whatever we want to actually implement. And from that, we will know which activity we've conducted and which we have not, which policy we've conducted and the one that we have not conducted. And that is an easy way to actually measure the success that we are going to have.
Thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of question and answer section from both the candidates that are vying for the position of Ipro. And now the ball is in your court, the Edusa, to decide who is going to be your next Information and Communication Minister under the 16th Executive Council. So you have the right to go and vote. So don't be allowed for people to decide for you. But you go there as an active student and select your next executive that is going to represent you. So therefore now I'm going to give each and every one of them for 1 minute to talk to you, convince you in 1 minute, so that you can vote for them to become the next Information and Communication Minister. So in 1 minute, say to the Edusans why they should vote for you.
Thank you so much, Edusans, and thank you for following this program, and thanks to Fine TV for also giving us this opportunity. And I just want to remind you, Edusans, this particular ministry does not require somebody who wants to learn. It requires somebody who has the experience and bring the service, and that is what I want to do. I already have the experience, so now I want to provide the service for you. Together with you, we can actually do it. When you look at my track record, you understand that I have served in this area in the area of communication in different areas. I have been a HOD in my school. I have been the head of extracurricular activities. I have been head of the the press club, drama, whatsoever. I have been doing all these things, and I have been mentoring students as well. So I already have the understanding. I already have the knowledge. I already have the skills. I have the communication skills, both the digital skills and the communication skills. So I have everything that it requires for you to actually give me your vote, so that together we can improve the image of Edusa. And remember, this requires somebody with experience. And thank you so much for following this program.
Thank you. Honorable, in 1 minute.
Fellow Edusans, I believe that I am the right candidate for this position, looking at my experience and then my track records when it comes to experience. And then I am also available, approachable, and then responsible to be able to take this ministry. I think my opponent here will bear me witness at the end of the election, or the day of election 31st, he's going to give me his vote in order to take this position, and then he will be beside me to make sure that we put Edusa first and then grow as a team or grow as an institution. I'm also going to give you the opportunity or the trust that if you vote me in, I'm going to contribute my quota towards the success of the association. And also, to correct him, he is saying I do not get the experience. Brother, I believe I am more competent than you when it comes to this ministry. So work with me, vote me in, and we make Edusa great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the program, and you can join us for the next episode. That we're going to bring the finance, the lifeblood of any institution. So they are already in the studio. So we will have prepared questions for them. And I would like to take this opportunity and thank the 15th Executive Council, the EC, and the entire university students for giving us the opportunity to be here on their behalf. And also thank Fine TV for giving us the platform to come and share their policies and programs. So now, Edusans, the ball is in your court to decide. And also you can join them if you want to hear more about their policies and programs the day of the convention. They will be there at Faba to sell themselves. And we don't need anyone, but we need the right person. And you have the power to decide who is going to be your next information and communication minister. They will be your face and your mouth. So you need to choose someone that is the right for the job. So I'm your moderator, Selmat Fati, Information and Communication Minister, 15 Executive Council. I thank you all. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. So now let's take a group video, and then we now go to the next.